The story that I'm bringing you today, it's called Bruises. And bruises are these blue spots that you get, you know, when you hit yourself or you hit somebody else, and then there's this blood going around, and then this is getting blue and bruises. I am in a seminar as a trainer. There is a children's home for teenagers with learning disabilities. The supervisor attempts getting into dialogue with two 13-year-old boys by using a role play. The boys hurt each other every day. At the least, there are some bruises. Sometimes there's also blood, and often a lot of tears. If the situation is solvable with a simple plaster, it is called a good day. The fact that they hurt each other causes the supervisor a lot of pain. Still, she is convinced that the boys like each other. We choose to start with self-empathy to explore what is alive in her. I invite the whole group to help her discover her feelings. This kind of method is called an empathy circle. Every participant focuses on him or herself. And what is this situation or behavior triggering inside of me? How would I feel if I was the supervisor? And what would I need? Then we offer our insights to the supervisor, who is receiving our empathy in form of questions, since they are our offerings. The consciousness of our own attitude when making these offerings is sincere curiosity, thriving on the belief that everything we do serves to fulfill needs. We search for these valuable treasures. The intention is to support, to practice, and to learn. The formulation, are you, then we offer a feeling, because then we offer a need, is important to you. Our offers may or not be accurate for the person receiving empathy. If not, we just continue to ask until we receive a convincing yes. In my experience, a visible relief occurs when we finally reach the core, often accompanied by a huge exhale. The person receiving empathy calms down and finds inner peace. To support clarity, you can also check, is there more? Or is that what it is about? In our example, we discover that the supervisor has a strong need for understanding. She really wants to comprehend why the boys keep hurting each other. What could their motives be, since they were willing to pay this painful price on a physical level? We choose two representatives to play the role of the boys. The three sit down. The boys side by side, opposite to the supervisor. I am so fascinated of how quickly people can slide into the role of playing someone else. The entire posture, movements, facial expressions, and gestures of the role players change. The boys immediately remind me a bit of John Wayne. They're sitting up straight on their chair, shoulders back, chin up, chest out, legs spread. The upper body slightly bent to the other boy, and they sit just far enough apart that a little nudge is always possible. So I invite everyone to notice and focus on the body language of these boys. Their posture reveals a lot and provides me with valuable approaches when we go searching for their feelings and needs. Now the task for the supervisor is to empathize with the boys. The rest of the group is there to support her. We guess. You guys look very relaxed. Is that true? Yes. Somehow you radiate a lot of strength. Do you feel strong and powerful at this moment? Yes. It's like nobody can touch me. I'm in total control. So I would like to talk to you about the injuries you inflict on each other. This is so strange to me. You guys do it over and over again, and I wonder, since you do it so often, you have to get something out of it. Well, you know, it's not so awful. It's all part of the game. Is it like a ritual, like shaking hands when you meet? Yes, exactly. So by asking more deeply in this manner, we found out that this behavior is also a good strategy to show mutual strength. And somehow, this is even nurturing trust. It allows me to show my strength while trusting you to be able to handle it. And also it shows me that you will stay with me. It is also about fairness and being on the same page, like we are on eye-to-eye level, in contrast to me and my little brother. And on the other hand, it is all quite normal. That's life. At this point, the supervisor starts to talk about herself, how sad she feels, violence being so normal for some people. She adds that she will not give up on the boys because she really cares about them. She's convinced that there are other strategies to meet all these beautiful needs besides hurting each other. She also pronounces her deep longing to break this circle of violence that is going on for generations and generations, so that in the end something can change. The boys react astonished. Really? Is that possible? How? For me, Gundi, this happening is so different from the old mindset. Well, you must stop hurting each other, otherwise, punishment or reward, whatever. And it so much fits better into the world that I want to live in. And in real life, this would be the point where the search for new solutions could begin. Now is the time for tips and advice. The supervisor could share what strategies she has in mind. Perhaps she could share the ones that she's using herself. Bearing in mind that the boys are boys and not girls. Perhaps something physical, but at least clear of violence. The boys could be inspired by her suggestions and develop their own ideas. They could try them out, and after some time, maybe 2 weeks, come back together again and see if their strategies worked, if they were really helpful to meet all their needs. And if not, they could look for new strategies that meet even more needs. A little add-on from me. When I was sharing this story with my husband, and I arrived at the point where I described the posture of the boys. He adds that many people experience such a posture as a provocation. I'm surprised because I only perceived it as, oh man, now we have to sit here again and talk. But okay, it doesn't matter, I'll survive. I saw it as a resource, as a valuable strategy to deal with life, as a protective wall. And at the same time, I can well imagine that showing strength in combination with a protective wall can be received provokingly. If this is the case, the supervisor needs one or more rounds of self-empathy in which she can discover what the boy's behavior triggers inside of her in order to be open again. So she can go on with discovering the world of the boys with curiosity. 1 minute of silence to let the words settle.